From the St. Louis Public Radio newsroom, this is The Gateway. It's Tuesday, March 12th. I'm Jonathan Ahl. The race for the next chairman of Madison County's board has gotten heated. The two Republicans running, incumbent Kirk Prenzler and County Treasurer Chris Slusser, used to be allies.
In 2016, I appointed the gentleman who's running against me, so I think that probably proves the adage, no good deed goes unpunished.
Coming up on The Gateway, St. Louis Public Radio's Will Bauer reports on their falling out and their visions for the Metro East County. Fontbonne University in Clayton will close next year after more than a century of educating students in the St. Louis region. St. Louis Public Radio's Sarah Fenton reports school representatives say enrollment and the school's finances have dramatically declined in recent years.
The private school will not welcome another freshman class. Current students will be able to take classes at the school until the end of summer 2025. School representatives say Fontbonne will also attempt to place students in other colleges if they don't or can't finish their degrees there. Dylan Scruggs is a sophomore and nursing major at Fontbonne. He was disheartened to learn the news.
100 years, this campus has been on for like 100 years. Last year's it's like the 100-year anniversary, and it's just like so many like legacy, that's really what it is, and just it's just done.
Fontbonne's neighbor, Washington University, has agreed to buy the 16-acre campus and lease it back to the institution while students work to finish their degrees. I'm Sarah Fenton, St. Louis Public Radio.
The St. Louis County Justice Center wants to reduce recidivism rates with a new program for incarcerated women. The 9-week beauty shop course includes hands-on and classroom learning taught by area cosmetologists. It's the first of its kind program for incarcerated women in county jails throughout Missouri. Janelle Lewis is an administrative assistant at the Justice Center and developer of the program.
We try to inspire them if they get released or if they transfer, pursue this as an outlet, pursue this as a goal, as a career, and we try to give them different alternatives and different locations that they can go to, and other barbers on the outside or beauticians on the outside that can help them.
Lewis says there are plans to bring the program back for future sessions. Each participant will receive a certificate of completion at the end of the program. A freshman state lawmaker from St. Charles County is jumping into the GOP contest to represent Missouri's 3rd Congressional District. St. Louis Public Radio's Jason Rosenbaum has more on Justin Hicks' entry into the hotly contested race.
Hicks is an attorney who represents a portion of western St. Charles County. He's foregoing potentially 6 more years in the House to run for the seat that Congressman Blaine Luetkemeyer is vacating. Hicks says his experience in the Army and the Missouri Attorney General's office make him an attractive choice for the 3rd District's GOP voters.
We have career politicians that are up there that are more focused on getting the next soundbite rather than actually having real solutions.
Other GOP 3rd District candidates include former Senator Bob Onder, State Senator Mary Elizabeth Coleman, and former State Senator Kurt Schaefer. I'm Jason Rosenbaum, St. Louis Public Radio.
This year's daylight saving time started this weekend when we moved our clocks forward 1 hour, but a new proposal in the Illinois House would set a permanent standard time across the state. The change would only go into effect when neighboring Midwest states also made the switch. Democratic State Representative Daniel Didich is the bill's sponsor. He says this legislation is about protecting public health and safety.
During the weeks when we change the clocks, the incidence of heart attacks and strokes go up, the incidence of car accidents go up, and that's because when you change the clocks like that, it impacts our circadian rhythm.
The bill is currently one of 2 in the House that addresses daylight saving time in Illinois. The state of Illinois is finally making available $18.5 million to assist and protect witnesses of violent crime. Mawa Iqbal reports.
Illinois lawmakers passed a bill almost 2 years ago to reimburse police departments and state's attorneys for relocating witnesses, covering costs for utilities, mental health treatment, and more. Then last year, Governor J.B. Pritzker allocated $30 million to the program. But the money wasn't made available until now. Aditi Singh with the Alliance for Safety and Justice says her group still doesn't know why the state has taken so long to give out the money.
Survivors need a lot of support after going something traumatic like that, and just like knowing what's fully available is just always more helpful than that.
Grant applications opened up for law enforcement officials last month. I'm Mawa Iqbal.
The GOP candidates for Madison County Board chairman used to be allies, but now they're bitter rivals. Since no Democrat is running, whoever wins the primary will be the chairman. St. Louis Public Radio's Will Bauer reports on the race between incumbent Kurt Prenzler and Chris Slusser.
Voters elected Prenzler chairman in 2016 and in 2020. Before that, he served as the county's treasurer for 2 terms. When voters made Prenzler the county's chief executive, that left a vacancy in the treasurer's office.
In 2016, I appointed the gentleman who's running against me, so I think that probably proves the adage, no good deed goes unpunished.
While it's common for inter-party fighting around elections, Prenzler of Edwardsville and Slusser of Wood River are running a heated campaign against one another. Here's Slusser.
But we've had just an extreme lack of leadership out of the chairman's office. It's been very chaotic. He's lost his way the last 4 or 5 years.
The strife between the two came during Prenzler's first term as chairman. Slusser says that Prenzler made bad hiring decisions. He created chaos in the boardroom. And Slusser says he prioritized issues outside of his typical authority, like fighting COVID mandates and drag queen story hours at local libraries.
Which I agree with him on like 99% of the issues. And it's okay to be an activist. Second, your first priority is what the taxpayers elected you for, and that's to run the county.
In turn, Prenzler says Slusser was fired from his job as a Southern Illinois University Edwardsville campus officer in 2002. Slusser says there was a dispute over a department practical joke, and SIUE documentation proves he left voluntarily and in good standing.
But I was not fired. I was not disciplined in any way. And I have proof of that. And so for him to bring it up is insane.
The sometimes controversial Prenzler recently made headlines after a county ethics advisor found that the chairman had handed out campaign material in the county building and on county time. That's prohibited by county ordinance. Prenzler says he made a mistake. He was giving someone his phone number and accidentally grabbed a campaign business card. But the GOP-controlled county board disagreed and censured him. Prenzler later equated it to a lynching.
I should have used another piece of paper, and I didn't, and I've apologized for that.
But that's not the first time Prenzler and the county board got in a public spat. In 2022, the board voted to strip him of some of his powers for the remainder of his term. Prenzler says that's because he supported primary candidates to challenge incumbent Republicans on the board. Those challengers had supported a change to the county's property tax system.
It's this difference of opinion regarding should people be able to vote on property tax caps. I think they should.
This particular policy issue is one of the main root causes of strife between Republicans in Madison County. It's called PTEL, or the Property Tax Extension Limit Law. Both candidates agree that Illinois' property taxes are too high. How they want to reduce them is the rub. PTEL would cap how much a school district, for example, could levy for property taxes every year. The state program would limit how much the district could levy at either the rate of inflation or 5%, picking whichever is smaller. Prenzler has been an ardent supporter, saying it would save Madison County residents money. But Slusser says the program takes 1 year before implementation, and in that 1 year, he worries taxing districts would aggressively levy for as much as they could. In turn, that would jack property taxes. But property taxes are just one issue in this race. Prenzler says his candidacy for a third term is the right move for Madison County. He sees Slusser as a threat to the power the Republican Party has made in the county.
I think his vision is to put together the political machine as it was before, but put a Republican label on it. And that has never been my intention, to create a political machine.
On the other hand, Slusser believes he can bring stability to the chairmanship. If elected, Slusser says his second priority would be economic development, with a special focus on the Mississippi River communities.
It's going to take a regional economic development plan. And our current chairman has never put together any sort of vision or plan for anything that he's done, let alone economic development.
The primary election is March 19th. In Edwardsville, I'm Will Bauer, St. Louis Public Radio.
Our Fred Ehrlich edited that report. Finally today, it's the birthday of Naomi Shihab Nye, born on this date in St. Louis in 1952. The Palestinian-American poet, novelist, and songwriter grew up in Ferguson. Here she is reading How Do I Know a Poem is Finished? As a part of Dear Poet, the Academy of American Poets educational project for National Poetry Month in 2015.
How do I know when a poem is finished? When you quietly close the door to a room, the room is not finished. It is resting, temporarily, glad to be without you for a while. Now it has time to gather its balls of gray dust, to pitch them from corner to corner. Now it seeps back into itself, unruffled, proud. Outlines grow firmer. When you return, you might move the stack of books, freshen the water for the roses. I think you could keep doing this forever. But the blue chair looks best with the red pillow. So you might as well leave it that way.
Happy 72nd birthday to Naomi Shahib Nye. The Gateway is a production of St. Louis Public Radio, a member-supported service of the University of Missouri, St. Louis. Music by Ryan McNeely of Adult Fur. I'm Jonathan Ahl, and from the St. Louis Public Radio newsroom, this has been The Gateway.
Support comes from the Missouri Forest Products Association, providing more than 41,000 jobs in the production of wood pallets, railroad ties, white oak barrels, hardwood floors, and more. Details at choosewood.com.